Alright maggots, listen up, we're talking tactics here.
Hello and welcome again to another video in Some Dutch Wargamer. Today we're talking tactics, and we're talking tactics about this guy, because ladies and gentlemen, we got him. I want to talk to you about the Emperor's Wrath Artillery Company today. I'm going to make a couple of videos on the other detachment also, but this one is the one I want to talk to you about now. So, the Emperor's Wrath Artillery Company is a specialist detachment. It's kind of a tuned down formation. The thing is with these formations is, I think, is that the extra warlord trait you can get is key in these formations. And it says there is also a stratagem for these warlord traits. Let's see if I can find them. No, it needs to get back a bit more. Yeah, there they are. It's the field commander, and the field commander says use this stratagem before the battle if you use the specialist attachment stratagem when choosing your army. So that means that if you use a specialist attachment, you can use this stratagem, which costs 1 CP. Which means, oh wait, I'm going to read this further. Choose one character from your army that has gained a keyword from the specialist attachment that is not your warlord and is not a named character. Which you need to keep in mind, because if you take Creed or Strachan or whatever character, they cannot get this the extra warlord traits. You can give that character the warlord trait from the specialist detachment if they are part of. Note that this character is only regarded as your warlord for the purpose of that warlord trait. So you cannot gain any extra victory points for killing the warlord with that, or with tactical objective card. This stratagem can be used once each for each specialist attachment stratagem you used. So that means if you make a specialist attachment, or if you make 3, you can use this 3 times. You spend 1 CP each time you use it. Note 2 characters in your army can have this no 2 characters in your army can have the same warlord trait. So if you have 2 specialist attachments of the same type, you cannot use the same warlord trait in each detachment. But there's a but with it. I'll go over that in a second. Emperor's Wrath Artillery Company says also for 1 CP you can create a specialist attachment. And it says use a stratagem when choosing your army. Pick an Astra Militarum detachment from your army to be the Emperor's Wrath specialist attachment. Company commanders, masters of ordnance, basilisks, hydras, and wyverns that in that detachment can gain the Emperor's Wrath keyword. So you can have a detachment and you can have all your units in that you want, but only these units gain the Emperor's Wrath keyword. So if you have an infantry squad extra for screening your units or whatever, they do not gain the Emperor's Wrath keyword, but they can be in the detachment. The warlord trait says if an Emperor's Wrath character is your warlord, you can give them the following warlord trait. So you spend 1 CP with the commander stratagem that I said, and the Emperor's Wrath Artillery Company stratagem, which costs a total of 2 command points to gain the warlord trait for the specialist detachment. And with the guard you can easily get a lot of command points, so this should be easily doable. The warlord trait says each time you roll a wound of 6+ for an attack made by a friendly Emperor's Wrath unit, while the unit Emperor's Wrath unit, while they are within 6 of your warlord in the shooting phase, the armor penetration characteristic of that attack is improved by 1, i.e. AP 0 becomes AP 1, AP 2, AP minus 1 becomes AP minus 2, etc. Which I think is really good. And there are a couple of things to get a lot of benefits of this. There are two regimental traits that I think that are best with this. And first of them is the Ketachan trait. And Ketachan is best to use with the basilisks and the wyverns. And that is because you can reroll one of the dice for determining the random number of shots when shooting with a vehicle. And that means that probably, not all the times, but probably you will get more shots out of your unit, which means you can roll more 6s, so more AP minus 1, 2, or whatever, etc. That is one thing to do it, and next to that you need to have Harker, because Harker is an auto include to gain the reroll 1. And those two combined, so Harker and extra shots from the Ketachan, awesome. This is just, I like to play Ketachans with it, and it's just good. But I think there is one that is even better suited for this specialist detachment, which is Cadian. And why is that? Because Cadians have the overlapping fields of fire stratagem, and that gives it +1 to hit for a unit that's already damaged by a Cadian unit. So even 5s become a 6 up. So that means more AP minus 1. And that is so good with wyverns and with basilisks, and also with hydras. If your unit stands still, which you probably will do with artillery, because Arcadian, they will reroll 1s anyway, and they have a lot of shots, especially Basilisk, because you already roll two dice and score the lowest for determining the shots, so that is already kind of good. The Wyvern always has a lot of shots, unless the Emperor's Light is not shining upon you, but mostly you will get about 14 shots, or hopefully more, but on average 14 or so. Which means if one of your units, not even the ones from the specialist attachment, will if they wound a unit, you can use overlapping fields of fire for the better. So for instance, if you have a wound done by a Lemon Rust and a Knight, you can shoot a lot of Daka on that Knight or whatever unit. I think even Cadian is the best one suited for this. The Wyverns is arguable to have a separate detachment with only Wyverns and the other ones in the Ketachan, or within the Wyverns in the Ketachan detachment, and the rest in the Cadian detachment, because stated in the Warlord trait is, it says each time you roll a wound roll of a 6+ for an attack made by a friendly Emperor's Wrath unit while they're within 6 of the Warlord in the shooting phase, it does not say it needs to be of the same regiment. So you can take 2 Emperor's Wrath artillery companies. For instance, all the Wyverns are going to be in the Ketachan one, and the other ones are going to be in the Cadian one. That means with the Wyverns you roll 4 dice, and mostly there's a 1 or a 2 in it, and you get more shots out of that. And you can combine it with one warlord for that, because the warlord, as I read it, will be giving every Emperor's Wrath, every unit with the Emperor's Wrath keyword, the benefit of this warlord trait. Even if it's Ketachan and it gives the same, or it gives the benefit to Cadians or the other way around. So that's one thing to take note. There are also two stratagems with it, and they are awesome. One of them, for 1 CP, is the suppressive fire stratagem. Use this stratagem at the start of your shooting phase. Pick an Emperor's Wrath vehicle from your army. That unit cannot shoot this phase. Okay, then that's the downside, but the benefit is a lot larger. That unit cannot shoot this phase. Instead, it lays down suppressive fire. Pick an enemy infantry unit that is within range of at least one of its weapons. Until the start of your next turn, that enemy unit cannot fire Overwatch and halves its move characteristic. And this final part, the halves its move characteristic, is good. And that is because foot sluggers or units that will disembark or have disembarked or deep striked in or whatever involve the movement, and they will be less easily going towards you, and if you charge them they cannot fire Overwatch, which is also really good. For instance, I play a lot against Khorne Berserkers, and if they move, they will have 2 times or 3 times attacking, which is a lot. And the move characteristic halved means they will get a lot less fast in your face. It is situational, as it says. It needs to be infantry, and I don't think jet bikes are infantry, so that needs to be taken in note. But then again, units cannot fire Overwatch. A Tau against Tau, this is a good one. With the rule they have, they cannot shoot or support with Overwatch with their unit. That's good. So it's a bit of situational, but I like it. I think this one will not see play that often, but if it does, it will be a huge benefit to the battle. Then another one that I really like. For 2 CP, you have the Pounding Barrage. And use this stratagem at the start of your shooting phase. Pick an Emperor's Wrath vehicle from your army. Pick one of that unit's ranged weapons, and that unit can shoot twice with this weapon at this turn. And yeah, you can use it in whichever unit you have. For instance, you can shoot the Basilisk twice, which is AP -3, which can go up to AP -4 because of the Warlord trait, if you roll a 6 on the wound. You can shoot with Hydra an extra turn. And Hydra has 8 shots, so to make 16 autocannon shots with which can go also on a 2-up. An extra the AP -2. Plus, if you have if you're fighting against flyers, it gets +1 to hit, so that means they are hitting on 3s, especially fun against jet bikes. And if they already got a wound by KD unit, use overlapping fields of fire. They're hitting on 2s. This is just awesome with that. It's just insane if you think about it. And the Hydras also went down in points. They are 85 points now. With a bolter, makes them 93 points. Wow, there are so many flyers today in the meta that this is just awesome to think what you can do in damage wise. Not even against flyers, which you have -1 to hit, but also against jet bikes or I don't know, a lot of tower stuff as fly or whatever. This is good. With a Wyvern, if you're fighting against hordes, and extra shots with Wyvern, oh man, that just is freaking havoc on the enemy. Every detachment also has an heirloom. The heirloom of conquest with this one says if your army includes an Emperor's Wrath specialist detachment, you can give the following relic to an Emperor's Wrath character from your army. You need to keep in mind that this is a relic, so if you have one from the codex itself, you need to spend 1 CP or 3 if you want more relics to gain this one also. It's not an auto include that if you have a artillery company you can give an extra relic. That's just the rules for relics, so keep that in mind. And it says in your shooting phase, pick an Emperor's Wrath unit from your army within 6 of the bearer, and until the end of that phase, enemy units do not receive benefit of cover when targeted by shooting attacks made by that unit. I'm thinking Space Marines here. Space Marines in cover have a 2-up save, which makes, with this heirloom, makes a 3-up save, because that's our normal armor save. And if you shoot a Wyvern on them, especially if they have 6s to wound, it makes a 4-up armor save. And yeah, it's wow. Basilisk can get AP -4. The Hydra can get AP -2. And with this one, no cover. Wow. If you're fighting against those Elder lists, those Rangers, they get AP -2 in cover. No cover. Wyvern, they're gone. Wow. Against the current meta with the Inari or Eldar or whatever, this is so good. But you need to want to spend 1 CP, but because I think Curse of Killa is an auto include. But then again, you get CP for him. That's what I think. I think the best ones for these two are Cadian and Kedichan. And yeah, tell me guys what you think. If there's any better ones suited for this, just tell me your opinion about this specialist attachment. Tell me your opinion about what do you think about specialist attachments. Are they going to be overpowered? Are they going to change the meta? Which I think they will. The meta is going to be changed anyway with the points decreases and whatever. But is this too overpowered? Is it not? I'm kind of excited about this because it has its cost. It costs 2 CP to get the better benefits of this detachment, or 3 if you don't use a warlord trait but only use it for shooting extra. Yeah, I think it's CP wise, it's a great asset for guard. It is not overpowered, and yeah, it's a benefit for the game. What do you guys think? Just say in the comments. If you're a subscriber, please note it. No, not please note it, but please say in the comments what you think about it. If you're not yet a subscriber, please subscribe. See you guys next time. Happy wargaming.